Okay.
I do not know. Well, I haven't watched your War Room.
Thanks.
No, you know why. But I don't know how you're supposed to pick between these two. I just don't like how you're supposed to pick. They're both... I really like both. I particularly like Petr because he's funny and he's a fucking serial killer with ice in his veins and he does not give a fuck.
He looks in fucking shape as well. Have
you seen him? I see. Photos
of him by the pool.
Yeah. Fuck. That was not a mistake, was it?
He's been training with Fedor. He's got a look good tan as well. Did you see Fedor at the weekend? Yeah. Motherfucker, that was so good.
3-piece.
Lovely.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's funny, someone then tweeted or whatever, it was like, two of the most dangerous people in the world are like 25% body fat and just like chilling dad bods.
Fedor and Tyson Fury.
Yeah, Tyson Fury, yeah.
Yeah. I like both of these guys the same, but they're so different in the way they go about their work. Like basically, the summary of the War Room is that Petr Yan tests without throwing, and Cory throws to test.
Yeah. I thought too, excuse me if I'm wrong, but I thought too, Petr is deep on a few techniques, like he's masterful in a few techniques, whereas Cory's much more varied, but not quite as deep in deep understanding of those techniques. He'll throw a few things here and there, and that's another contrast, You're not going to get wild shit from Yan.
Yeah.
You're going to get some wild shit from Cory, but god damn it, Yan he's so good at what he does, isn't he?
He is.
And a million times we've talked about how he is suffocating you without even touching you.
That's
just
it.
By his presence and being in your face and on your foot and horrific.
Because you're like, what? Like, why is he not doing anything? He's going to do something in a minute.
He's right there.
Why is he not doing?
Like he's right there.
Yeah. But that's my concern for him is that a part of his game is being in range and letting them work so he can see where the gaps are, or to see when he pressures and which direction they go. Like with the Jimmy Rivera fight, he was forcing him off at angles and was walking him onto shots.
Yeah.
I think he can try and do that with Cory, but I think it's far more risky because the moment where he commits to work for that counter shot, Cory just jumps straight up the center with a flying knee, or he like covers and rolls and pivots off. And I mean, the more I watched Cory, the more impressed I was with him, and the more I felt like he's got a chance. Like generally, the feeling that I've had when I've been speaking to people about this is, Petr Yan's going to walk him down and beat him up.
No,
but it's not as cut and dry as that. Not nearly as cut and dry as that. And the other thing with Sandhagen as well, like you think back to that fight he had against Alcantara, like he was in a really bad spot in that first round. He was caught in like an armbar triangle. He got his face busted up, and he just toughs it out.
Yeah.
Like he's not easy to break. He's not easy to crack.
I love it. And this is the title fight.
Yeah.
This is the title fight.
I agree. I agree.
That other title can evaporate for me.
What are your thoughts on Sandhagen losing to Dillashaw, though? Because that's something that people have been bringing up. Like, Sandhagen shouldn't be fighting for the interim belt because he just lost to Dillashaw.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just timing. It's just timing, really.
Yeah.
It's just,
He did make a fucking mess of Dillashaw as well.
I love this fight.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy with either one with the belt, really. I'm just edging a little bit towards Yan.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to pick. You don't really pick on the War Room, do you?
No, I don't. Because the thing is with the War Room is like, and I know people always say this in the comments, it's like, well, you should give a prediction. I'm like...
Mate, shut the fuck up, account. Well, don't worry, we'll respond to that with the new account.
Exactly, yeah. Like, if people want my picks, they can come and listen to this. But I generally... I could give you 3 different for instances. I'm as equally invested in all of them. At this
level, like good luck really picking, because you don't, sometimes I feel like lower down the cards we can actually make some pretty relatively informed picks. But when it gets to this level, it's like
there's too much in the balance. Like especially with these two, like Petr Yan could close him down. He could club him with a shot as he's peeling off along the fence, catch him and drop him, and then be on that front headlock and beating him up on the ground. Like Petr Yan's got really, really nice clinch work when he locks up as well.
And trips on Aljo.
Right.
Wicked.
Mate, you want to see some of the stuff he did against Magomedov in ACB.
Yeah.
It's almost what he did to Uriah Faber, where he kind of kicked him and then brought his head around for the high kick.
Yeah.
But like he uses that trip to throw people by him, to like bring them onto knees and stuff.
Trips are such appealing techniques. I don't know why it is, but it's just like
it's just cool when you do
it.
It's like that he did to Aljo, where he just fucking palmed him in the chest to the floor.
Yeah, it's like disrespectful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what DC said in the commentary as well. I agree. But I don't think he gets any of that kind of stuff on Sandhagen. And if he does, as soon as he starts to turn the fight on Sandhagen's going to throw something back at him.
Yeah. Do you think Cory's ever fought anyone that will stand on his front foot like Jan will? And do you think he's dealt with that kind of like, it's not fake pressure, but that invisible pressure?
Yeah, I think he's fought a few people that have tried to do that to him. Frankie Edgar would have done that to him if the fight had lasted. But that's where that flying knee comes into play, and it's not like that was the only time he did it. I mean, you can watch go and get NordVPN and check out my breakdown show. Yeah, because this is the fight that I covered, and I show a whole selection of flying knees. Like he was nailing John Lineker with flying knees as he was moving in. And that's a good example of someone that might fight like this. He's not nearly as nuanced as Petr Yan with his footwork, and everything he throws is power. But the moments where Cory was backed up against the fence and there was the threat of the flying knee, or he was going to slip and roll and kind of get out to the side, like Lineker was just following him, just marching after him. I don't think he's going to have that same situation with Petr Yan, but he does kind of march a little bit. Like he walks until he comes into range, then he goes back into his stance. And then he uses his stance switching to like switch his options for striking and cut them off. But Cory just doesn't seem to even have an awareness of which foot's in front. Yeah, it's so
fluid now, yeah.
Like this, it's on UFC stats, they either say Southpaw Orthodox or switch. Yeah. Is like when it comes to stance, but there needs to be another breakdown with switch.
Whatever.
Because it's fluid, isn't it? Yeah. Like there is no stance.
Yeah.
I think Cory's really, really dangerous, and I think he gets much better between each fight. I think he improves really quickly.
I've seen a couple of VTs with him. Like he's about this life, isn't he? Like he is about being a martial artist.
Yep.
This is his life.
Yeah, and I also think he would have learned a lot from the Dillashaw fight. And Dillashaw fight was going to be difficult because they trained together, they were familiar with each other's style. There's a lot of influences in Cory Sandhagen's game that he got from Dom Cruz and Dillashaw as well. So, but I think his footwork is leveling up the division. To be honest, I think Sandhagen's.
Shit, you sound like you're.
I've just been really impressed with him. The more I've watched him, the more I've been impressed. Like
Petr Yan that way.
Well, I know how dangerous Petr Yan is. I know that most people will be expecting him to be able to put a stamp on this fight, but I think that, like you said, like he pressures without doing much. And Cory's always working. Like he's always throwing, he's always peppering. So like something's
might backfire a little bit on him. You think?
I think he might just be available to get hit. And I mean that flying knee that comes up the centre. Jan's not going to move away from them. He's going to tuck up. He's going to pull his elbow in. That left hook to the body that he dropped Austin Arnett with. I could go on. Yeah.
Anyway, go watch the War Room, and if you can't get there because it's geo-blocked, then
go
to...
the War Room's not.
The War Room. The breakdown show.
In fact, the War Room has got a load of footage in as well, hasn't it? Because I got loads of the ACB stuff and clips, and it's always interesting to see what people are doing. Yeah, but if you
do want to watch the breakdown show, then go to nordvpn.com/outlawed. I said it again.
73% off.
73% off. That does seem like a very specific number, but
it does. I thought whatever. It was 70s. Anyway.
73. Main event. So, are you picking? You sound like you're going Cory. I think. Well,
you're leaning towards Jan.
Jan, but I think it's because I find him funny and he gives Aljo loads of shit on Twitter, and I think it's just like blurring my read on it. And I just love every time he mentions Aljo, I just think it's funny.
Here's a question for you: do you think if Petr Yan needs Cory Sandhagen in exactly the same scenario as he needs Aljo, that Cory Sandhagen doesn't continue?
I don't think so. No. I think he gets the fuck back up and
motherfucker near me illegally.
Yeah.
He does it though. Petr Yan knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like there's a clip in.
Petr Yan's fighting. That's why.
Yeah,
he's fighting. Mate, like, he doesn't give
He don't give a fuck.
He's annoyed that these rules are in place.
Absolutely. Like, if he can bite you and headbutt you,
and in fact, he's annoyed that he's not allowed weapons because he's like, I'm just going to slice this motherfucker up.
Mate, a turtleneck and a silencer.
100%. A barcode on the back of his neck.
Straight away.
Petr Yan's here to fight.
Yeah. Mate, there's a clip in that it's like Douglas Silva de Andrade, and he's in side control, and he's got him like a good control him in side control, and he's so fucking sly. He brings his knee up to make it look like he's going to kneel on his bicep for a crucifix, but as he does it, he slams it right into his chin, like clearly illegal knee. He just skirts the rules.
That's because he's got a master of combat. He's a masters of combat, isn't he?
Yeah, and you know that. Master of Sport in boxing requires you to have 150 odd amateur fights.
Yeah. And
the only reason he didn't continue on to the Olympics is because he got into an altercation the night before a fight and broke both of his hands.
Sounds like someone we know.
And when he told that story, he was laughing about it. It was like, I fucked him up.
Because he's a maniac. Fight. He's not like anywhere close to. Well, especially martial arts, but that athlete thing, he's not interested in.
Have you seen that photograph? That it's like a Christmas photograph.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. It's a serial killer.
I love it.
He's a fucking serial killer.
It. He's like tree in the background, and his wife and his kid, and they're all like,
"Look how happy we are."
Yeah, and he's like. Dead.
Love it.
He's a murderer.
We should find that. We should put that on because that is a fucking funny photo.
Isn't it? I fucking hell.
Tough, innit? Tough to pick.
If I had to pick, I feel like Cory Sandhagen might catch him with something.
Yeah.
I feel like he might catch him with something.
If Jan wasn't so funny, I might pick Cory, but he is very funny.
I love both of them, but I'm just...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All right, you go Cory, I'll go Jan.
Okay.
See what happens.
Okay.